Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
My name is Tia, and I'm being a lecturer today, your teacher. Right? So today's lesson will be about mechanical advantage as well as levers. By the end of the lesson, you'll actually be able to define mechanical advantage, identify and describe classes of levers with examples, label the fulcrum, effort, and loads on the sample lever diagrams, as well as calculate mechanical advantage. Right. So mechanical advantage is basically a system that makes carrying or any work that requires effort similar. Right. Mechanical advantage refers to how tools, machines, or systems reduce the effort needed to do work such as lifting, cutting, or moving objects, right? So we have three simple formulas to calculate mechanical advantage. Those being MA, being mechanical advantage, equal to output force divided by input force, right? Okay, there's actually one formula on my bed, right? If the mechanical advantage is greater than 1, then the machine makes the task easier. Yes, I am.
Can you please repeat for me the what you call this thing, the formula?
The formula. Okay, so mechanical advantage is equal to output force. Output force is basically the work you put into carrying the system or the load or whatever it is again, right? And then divided by input force. Input force is the work being done by the object, by the mechanical system. Does it make sense? Okay. So if MA is greater than 1, mechanical advantage greater than 1, this means that the system makes the task easier, right? So that means it has a good mechanical advantage. But as soon as the MA is less than 1, then it's bad mechanical advantage, right? That means the system doesn't do much help in completing the task, right? And if the mechanical advantage is equal to 1, then it probably just changes the direction of the force, but not necessarily helps much in completing the task. Okay? Right. So the examples we have of mechanical advantage are as follows. We have levers, we have pulley systems, gears in a bicycle, hydraulic systems, as well as inclined planes. Right? Yes, that's all from me with mechanical advantage. So next up, we're going to hop into levers, and machines will be teaching us about.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Master.
My name is Emissions, and I will be helping you through this part of BitMos. So we'll be looking at levers, which is one of the examples of the simple machines that we get. So levers. Levers basically it's a rigid bar that pivots around a fixed point, which is called a fulcrum, right? And that helps when you want to lift heavy loads or something. So there are three different parts to a lever that you need to really focus on. The fulcrum, which is the fixed point that where you pivot around, so that's the fixed point. There's the load, which is the object that you're trying to carry or move, and then there is the effort, which is the amount of force that you put in to make yes.
So what do you do if you move the fulcrum, let's say, more towards the load or more towards the effort?
So that's where mechanical advantage comes in. So if you put the fulcrum closer to the load, you're going to gain a mechanical advantage, because now that means you're putting in less effort to move the object, because the fulcrum, the fixed point, is going to be a lot closer to the load, which is what you're trying to move. But now, if you move the fulcrum to the effort, which is closer to you and further away from what you're trying to move, it's going to be way more difficult. You're going to have to press harder and all that, which means you're not really gaining any mechanical advantage. You're probably losing any mechanical advantage. So there are three different kinds of levers that we get. We get first class levers, second class levers, and third class levers. Right? For the first class lever, it is the effort on one side, the fulcrum in the middle, and the load on the other side. Okay? For the second class levers, you have the effort on one side. Just after that, you have the load, and on the very end, you have the fulcrum. And then for third class levers, you have the fulcrum at the start, you have the effort in the middle, and you have the load at the very end. Okay. So with the first class levers, does anyone want to give me an example?
Crowbar.
Crowbar.
Is it a first class?
It is a first class lever, yes. Any other examples?
Seesaw.
Explain.
Load on the effort and then the fulcrum in the middle.
There you go, that's a good example. Here's one example that you may not have thought of. It might be in your pencil cases, but a pair of scissors, because the load is where the handle is. The fulcrum is where the little joint piece, or what you call it, that, and the screw, oh yes, the screw, and then the load will be the paper that you're cutting, or yeah, whatever you're cutting. Second class levers. No, any questions? No, okay. Second class levers. Any examples that you guys have? Remember, it's the effort, the load, and the fulcrum at the end.
Stapler.
Yes. That is. That's good. Yes, that is the perfect example, because with the wheelbarrow, the effort is what you're holding, the handles, right? The load is in the middle because of the bucket part, and the wheel, which is the fulcrum, because you can lift that part up. Perfect example. Any more? Yes.
What is the open?
What's an open up? So, where is the fulcrum with that one? But with the fulcrum in the middle, that means it's a first class lever, yes. But now we're looking at second class levers. So with the second class levers, again, the fulcrum is on the far end, effort is also on the far end, and in the middle is the load. That is the second class lever. Okay, moving on to third class levers. With these ones, it's the fulcrum on one side, the effort is now in the middle, and the load is on the end as well. Any examples? Alright, this one's a bit of a tricky one because it's a lot harder. But here's one example. Tweezers. Okay, tweezers. The fulcrum, not a conventional fulcrum, but still a fulcrum. It's the bent part, the part that is bent, right? And then the effort is your hand, which is going to be more on the middle part, because you'll be holding onto the middle part, the fulcrum will be at the end. And the load is whatever you're trying to grab onto, which is the hand part. Yes. Understand everyone? Great. Now, why are levers important? Because levers are everywhere, okay? From playground, the seesaw that you gave, and they just reduce the amount of work you need to put in to do something. That is mechanical advantage as well. It allows you to have control over the movement and what you're trying to do in all that. Okay, and for the summary, Mr. Beer will return for this point.
I'll just like to know if anyone has any questions as well. No questions? Okay. So, in this lesson, we explored the concept of mechanical advantage and how it helps us understand the way machines make work easier, right? Mechanical advantage shows how much a machine multiplies the force we apply, allowing us to use less effort to achieve a greater effect. This principle is seen in many tools and machines that from ramps and pulleys to bicycles and hydraulic systems. We also focused on levers, which are one of the simplest and most common machines, right? A lever is a rigid bar that turns around a fixed point called the fulcrum. By arranging the fulcrum, load, and effort in different positions, we get three classes of levers. We have the first class lever, second class lever, and third class lever. I hope you understood the great explanation questions in us. And then both mechanical advantage and levers show how technology uses simple ideas to make everyday life work easier and safer and more efficient. Understanding these concepts helps us appreciate how tools and designed. Understanding these concepts helps us appreciate how tools are designed and encourages us to think creatively about solving problems every day. Yes, any questions, guys? No questions? I'll leave it at